And just because you get a dark feeling doesn't mean that the thing you're observing is morally wrong. The reason people have warm feelings.
I was taught in a religious environment that when I felt a dark feeling, when I felt a feeling of discomfort, that was Satan, that was something beyond myself telling me that what I was hearing or what I was experiencing was wrong. And anytime I got a good feeling or a comforting feeling, that was the Spirit or God telling me that it was right. So as I was growing up, anytime I would hear something from somebody in my faith, so a leader or from the canon of the religion, I would feel a warm feeling of comfort, and I would equate that with God telling me that it was right or correct. And anytime I would hear something outside of that structure that was foreign to me, that was telling me maybe something about my faith specifically that didn't coincide with how I made sense of the world, I would feel a dark feeling, and I would equate that with Satan. So what that did was it kept me totally loyal to that faith structure, totally loyal to the people within it, and a very confused conception of what my actual inner voice was saying, because the institution had defined for me what those voices or feelings within me were to mean. Then Prop 8 happened in California, and this was over 10 years ago. And my church was telling me that I needed to vote yes on Prop 8, and I needed to go out and stand on corners and hold up signs that said yes on 8, and that was what God wanted me to do. But I have a gay brother, and I knew that he was born that way, and I knew that what I was doing with Prop 8 was actually taking away his rights, and it was oppressive to him. So for the very first time in my life, something that the church or the institution was telling me was of God and should make me feel warm was making me feel dark. It was making me feel bad. I was feeling conflicted. For the first time in my life, that didn't make sense, the construct of what is right and wrong that came from the church. And so I really had to look and get out of the fishbowl, if you will, and look at those teachings of what is right or what is wrong. That's why I love this video, because he talks about how we are actually our own North Star and our own compass. If you haven't read Martha Beck's Finding Your North Star, Being Your Own North Star, please read it, because it will help you to extricate yourself from systems like this that have hijacked your brain quite literally and disconnected you from your instinct and what you know personally to be true. Because by teaching you what your feelings mean, it's actually disconnecting you from the actual feeling of your intuition, and it confuses you. And this has led to a lifelong of confusion for me, because now what I realize and what this video intimates is that when something feels warm or it feels right, that's not necessarily because it's 100% truth or right. It really is because it feels comfortable to you. I looked at the leaders of my church up to Prop 8 and felt warm and comfortable because that was the water I was swimming in. That was what I was born into, and so it felt right and comfortable to me. And now I'm realizing that that's because this was my tribe, and this was my meaning in life, and this is the thing that my parents were a part of and my ancestors were a part of. And so of course I had deep feelings of comfort and goodness from that environment or from people in that environment, because those values are important to me. Family and tribes and community and love and good moral ideals of love and loyalty, those things mean something to me. So when I would be in that structure, even if I didn't totally know what I was prescribing to as far as if the beliefs were broke down or not, the main feelings of community and love were comforting to me, and so they felt warm. And when things were outside of that, meaning they threatened those things, so if I would read something that would tell me that my church was not true, or that there were certain problems historically with my church or the leaders, founders of my church, I would read that and get an uncomfortable feeling, because now all of a sudden this new belief is threatening what I value most, which is community and tribe and love. And in the religion I was born in, if you were to go to that side and prescribe to those truths, you would lose your community. You would lose that tribe. And so, of course, I felt feelings of discomfort. And that is not Satan. That is me feeling fear. That is me feeling scared. And I've really had to parse out what those things are now in my middle age and figure out what my instinct is telling me. And this is what I've come up with. And I'm still figuring it out because religion took away this ability from me from an early age to know what it is. But it's a calm feeling. It's not a frantic feeling. It's a feeling of not only comfort, like those feelings of tribe and community give to me, but it's just an inner knowing that is separate from the feelings of comfort and from the feelings of connecting with one's values. And when I feel bad about something, or I feel, as I would have termed, Satan, it's actually me being uncomfortable with something, and there's a deeper fear there. And so it's going internally and figuring out what that fear is. Is this challenging my sense of community? Is this challenging something that I really value, like love? And if so, let's look deeper at it instead of just terming it very quickly out the gate as evil or of the devil.